Not at all what I expected. This is very melodic, deep, a lot of rich, colorful chordal stuff happening. Progadelic, that was the word I had to go off of. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Lowend University. Today on the channel, I'm following your lead. I've slowly been working my way through Primus's catalog over the last year, and there's always comments saying I should check out Les Claypool's side and solo endeavors. So I'm taking a quick detour to check out the project I see mentioned the most. That is the Claypool Lennon Delirium, who formed about 10 years ago. It consists of Les Claypool, Sean Lennon, Joao Nogueira on keys and vocals, and drummer Paulo Baldi, who played for Cake. Cool surprise there. I've been meaning to do them on the channel too. I already love them. But a lot of requests have mentioned Blood and Rockets, live at the Current. That track is from their most recent 2019 album, South of Reality. And I've learned to go into every Primus song with zero expectations, and based on this single descriptor I have from Sean Lennon, who classified the group's music as progadelic, I'm going to keep that same open mind. So without further ado, here's my first time diving into the Claypool Lennon Delirium with Blood and Rockets.
Cause it started with experiments in the backyard, like portions. As a little boy, ready went a bit too far. But the trouble really started when he found out the young are sinners. Cause together they ready to reach the stars. So the two of them began to play around with various explosives. Jackets sold from a local product company. The military gathering a bevy of young rocket scientists. Thought the boys would do it, no one else had a cheat.
Not at all what I expected. This is very melodic, deep, a lot of rich, colorful chordal stuff happening. Progadelic, that was the word I had to go off of. Again, I don't think I've really heard Les play this kind of subdued, thumpy sort of bass line approach. You know, I'm used to fast, technical, gritty slap, all the things we've been through. So this is a whole different side of his playing. And again, I'm sure this exists in the Primus world musically, but I have not heard it. It's been a lot of the shock value slap stuff that most people request. So this is super cool. The tone has this really interesting kind of compression on it that's making it kind of go whoop, whoop. You kind of hear it kind of catch. Bubbly and thumpy. So, okay, let's go back here when this bass line started. Almost has kind of a reggae feel. I just love the way it was set up. Didn't really give you the tonal center. It was very going down in half steps for a while. A lot of major, minor, kind of straddling, a bit of randomness there. I'll have to hear it again, maybe when that circles back. Let's hear when this bass line starts. Let me back here.
Cause it started with experiments in the backyard, like portions. As a little boy, ready went a bit too far. But the trouble really started when he found out the young are sinners. Cause together they ready to reach the stars.
That's weird. Okay, kind of hearing C sharp D flat. He's kind of putting a little bit of ghost note goodness, I think, in there, kind of just locking in with the drums. Then up to E flat major. Then it jumps up a tritone, I think, to A major. I don't know, the whole thing's very colorful. Excited for that part. Okay.
Jackets sold from a local product company.
sharp major. Oh, it's so weird.
Does your love you fly? You better be careful, boys, you just might.
Going up here, doing a little bit of a bass melody thing, which I'm used to from Les, but it's just really melodic, and the tone is so different. I think it's the coolest part. Kind of joining in with the vocals. This is a trip.
So Jack became a loyal follower of Mr. Alistair Crowley. He took an oath to be a magistrate temporarily. His pretty house in Pasadena was notorious for the orgies and late night and
Yeah, that tritone root movement jump's really interesting and very colorful. Again, we kind of have a up to the E flat major, then A major, back to the C sharp minor. Then I think it goes again, C sharp minor, I believe, E flat major, A major, and then F sharp major. Yeah, I really don't know how it all functions. Some progressions are really tough. This one's kind of has me stumped. I'll have to think about it. Let's keep it going.
and late night and a city mysteries. And when this company became the famous JP Laboratories, his reputation made it difficult to proceed. Though after one of his chemical magical
This really caught me off guard.
they found his body in a pile of blood and debris. How high?
Like what Les is doing there on that F sharp major. I think this happens just every 8th bar in this progression. So the drums kind of hit it. And I like how Les kind of keeps the pulse going. You'll notice he's got the sparse kind of the reggae feel. But when he gets to this last chord, he's kind of just rolling the 1-5-1. It just kind of keeps that momentum going. Listen here, right here. I like this.
They found his body in a pile of blood and debris. How high?
Cool little move there.
Does your love you fly? You better be careful, boys, you just might.
I think he's used to probably the school of thought with Primus where you have 3 people, you need to use every opportunity to kind of keep the momentum going in the composition when you have lesser people. And he is so good about adapting his bass to fill the space when he stops singing. I've kind of learned this getting through the Primus catalog a bit. Feels like he kind of does the same thing here. The vocals kind of go into more of this ethereal layer. And he kind of jumps in and adds a bit of melody supplementation. Not quite like a call and answer, if you will, but they just marry really beautifully there, just kind of keeping something melodic going. You'll kind of hear them trade in and off, and then he comes in and adds vocals himself, a bit of a harmony. And I just like the way the little higher bass part's working with all of that.
You better be careful, boys, you just might.
Almost a bit counterpoint. A bit of counterpoint.
Set the world on fire. You better be careful, boys. You set the world on fire. How high?
Really kind of playful guitar solo too, and it really danced around with those interesting colors happening here. I'm really trying to think, and I might be overthinking this chord progression. Sometimes I tend to do that. But I like how the guitar solo here really leans into the unique sounds of each of those chords. Right here. All that goodness.
How high?
Yeah, he's doing the 1-5-1, 1-5-1. You know, I think if he just wrote on one root note there with the drums, yeah, it'd kind of drive, but I like the. It almost is a bit more on brand with the bass part it's coming out of. No, he's really keeping it melodic there. So to keep that, just really good pacing there, just in the bass part.
Very careful, set the world on fire.
Set the world on fire. That's a stumper. Where are they going? Okay. Very cool. Wow. Didn't expect him to whip that out. And I know so many of you are asking me to get to Primus songs where he plays upright. I see these all the time. I need to go back and do some of those as well, because it's like a different side of his bass playing I could focus on. And it's a bucket list purchase for me today. One day, an upright, learn the bowing. I've never used a bow, don't have the proper training there. I'd love to. Just want one to have one, even if it's an electric one. Kind of like this. Cool switch up. And now it's going to probably add this really resonant support under some of these interesting chords. Let's see where it goes. Wow, full of surprises. Man, that's the weirdest progression. So this is kind of a permutation of the main, let's say, verse chorus kind of thing that was happening earlier I was talking about. And then up to the F sharp major. If I had to think about it, I feel like we're in the key of E, because that supports all of 3 out of the 4 chords. And I think the F sharp major is just kind of a major 2 chord. But I feel like this progression here is a permutation off of what we heard earlier. It's got some familiarity to it. And I think they're just doing some planing here, just jumping keys. Because back to the E major. Down to the G, to E. So squirrely. They were right. This is progadelic. Let me hear this kind of outro starting about here and see how it wraps up. This was so unexpected. That's a new thing. They walk back chromatically down to it, so. A lot of tension in that one. descending major. That was nothing like I remotely expected it to be. I'm glad I went in kind of bracing myself for that. His tone, his whole bass approach. I mean, he had a few less isms in there, but it was this really beautiful dynamic piece. And I'm not sure if I'm just primed. John Lennon, I don't know, but there was the element in his delivery and maybe the songwriting that was very Beatles-esque. Just in those really quirky progressions that just kind of stump you. You're like, why did they jump to a major there when it should have been minor, but it's got this new color? I might go back a bit and kind of dissect that one, because they were making all sorts of moves, really unexpected stuff. Your ear would want to go here, then they just go that way. Very knee-jerk and jarring, but over the course of the song, it had this really natural colorfulness to it all. And I love how the vocals weren't really like your typical lead vocal. They were very much a part of that ethereal layering, the complex tension and resolve of some of those chord moves. Loved Les's playing, switching up to the upright with the bow. You guys are going to have to remind me which Primus songs he uses the bow or even an upright on, because I definitely at some point want to get back to them. But yeah, I don't know what to make of that one. I liked it. Let's get that out of the way. It was very cool, very forward-thinking, imaginative, very melodic and dynamic. Had a quirky musical aspect to it. Those are always fun to do. So we've taken a detour on the Claypool Lennon Delirium. All in all, let me know what Les Claypool side project or solo endeavor I should come back and do next. If this is any indication of how different they are from Primus, I'm intrigued to see these other sides of his musicality. Very cool stuff. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to support this channel further, please come find us on Patreon. I do full albums there. I have lots of bass lessons and other resources if you are a player. And if you enjoyed this, please make sure you're subscribed. I love you all, and we'll see you in the next one.